for Shabbat, and also to celebrate this wonderful milestone in Maddie's life and the life of her family and our community. A few words of security, just to know that in the unlikely event we'll need to leave this space, you can look both to the front and introduce yourself. Wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. We are going to be starting with our prayer book. This is the one you need right now, the smaller blue one. We'll be using the numbers on the bracketed at the bottom, the brackets, the blue numbers. Our first song is one of welcome and gathering, Hine Ma Tov, how good it is to be together, page 188.
Shabbat Shalom. It's a great morning for you. It's been a great morning so far. We are going to continue our services this morning as we welcome everybody to Temple with the presentation to Maddie now by her parents of her prayer shawl of her talit.
As we place this talit on your shoulders,
wrap yourself in the dreams of Israel and all the generation of our people who have come up to the bima to lead the congregation in prayer. Clothe yourself with the manner of prayer. Listen to the heartbeat of centuries. Carry with you the Psalms of David, the songs of Solomon, and the dance of Miriam. Hear the prophets calling out the words which reshape reality. All this and this future too is in this talit, which we now present to you with love. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hitatef v'tzitzit.
Amen.
We are back in our prayer books. We are turning to page 288. We will greet the morning with gratitude for this beautiful day. Modeh, moda ani lefanecha.
page 292. The soul that you have given me, O God, is pure. You created and formed it into me, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore I will give thanks to you. My God and the God of all ages, source of all being, loving guide of every human spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol b'sar ish.
We continue on page 293.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechli bina, l'achli ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hokei ha'ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir ha'asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamelim mitzadei gaher. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotei le'yarev koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir she'ya be'enai, u'tzimkori alai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'torin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Page 297.
Adonai our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us, and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of Torah, to our people of Israel.
Baruch
atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael.
We continue on page 306.
Hallelujah.
Let's stand together now as the ark doors are opened.
chapter of grace, a reflection of God in time and space. From Sinai's high peak to the desert's embrace, a journey of faith, a vibrant sacred place. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them and who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMelorot. O God, inspiration and guide for all.
We're on page 317.
O God, an inspiration and guide for all. You have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways, and yet, O God, you are the one unifier of humanity.
Let's say together,
We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael, be'ahava. We continue on page 318.
Continue on page 319 together with Maddie singing a Via Hafta. Via Hafta.
Et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levacha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meotecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher Anochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shitecha b'beitecha, uvlachtecha b'derech, uvshofbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letutafot b'einecha, uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru,
V'asitem et kol mitzvotai,
v'heitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti atchem eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. As we prepare ourselves for our freedom song, Micha Mocha, on page 322, we listen to Maddie's freedom poem.
Freedom is walking where I choose, no heavy rules, no need to lose. It's speaking up and being heard, telling the truth in every word. It's dreaming big, then chasing it, not being told to stop or quit. No hiding thoughts, no secret task. Freedom means I get to be exactly who I'm meant to be.
Micha Mocha,
Somech notlim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamot hapal gerot, umidot elav, melech mechayem, umatzmiach Yeshua. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh ha'akol. Mekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי אהרון, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וכרז אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות. Madir Shimcha b'chol ha'aretz, Baruch Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachenu ve'hu Yashmi'enu, berachamav le'einei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Zion, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נרגיש, ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue on page 329.
You may be seated.
The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to the holiness and time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch
atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
We continue on page 337. Oh, we continue silently on page 327.
Turning in our prayer books to page 337. We close our private prayers with words of peace. Oh, say shalom. Maddie is joined by her friends and classmates as we sing together.
Oh, say shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Welcome everybody to Temple this morning for this very, very special gathering on Shabbat. And, where you at, Maddie? As we celebrate together with Maddie, this is a very, very special day. I want to talk about just a couple of customs, a couple of traditions that we have. One is very specific. It's actually not unique to Temple Emmanuel, but we've started doing this recently, so I want to tell you a little bit about it. I think that they're called jazz hands. Is that it? Like when you go like this? Oh, yeah, that's jazz hands. Okay. But like, you know, like if you really want to say to someone, you did, like I really appreciate what you did. Like for example, not for this sermon, but like after Maddie reads the Torah, I want you to go like this, okay? These aren't jazz hands. We call these either spirit hands or ruach hands. The word ruach in Hebrew means spirit, like a lot of oomph, right? So do that with me, right? So if she gives like a really good talk or whatever like that, just go like this. No, you can do it over here too. This is not just for, okay. So I'm just telling you, I learned that when I went to, for those of you who remember Rabbi Fisher, I went to her installation up in New York, and they're doing it in New York, you know, of course, where everything is cool, so we can do it here in Greensboro where everything is cooler. So that's one thing. Number two is I want to tell you about another custom that we have. Actually, Naomi, you're familiar with this because it was like 2 months ago that we did this this when you were up here reading Torah at your bat mitzvah. We get to the end of the book of the Torah, right? And then whoever is chanting Torah, I don't mean to call you out like this, but I just like it's really cool that this is just like coincidence of two really great friends. And then we actually say, and those of you, like all the synagogue folks who do these things all the time, right? We know this, right? We get to the end of the book, and then someone who's reading the Torah chants out words that aren't actually there in the Torah. Okay, and it's like this back and forth thing where we go, like Maddie will say, Chazak, Chazak, V'ni Chazek, and then we say that back at her. So we're going to practice that right now, right? Ready? I'm going to do it like pretending I'm Maddie, okay, which I'm not. I'm not that cool, right? But like Chazak, Chazak, V'ni Chazek, and then everybody goes what? Chazak, Chazak, V'ni Chazak. They're probably wanting me to translate that for you if Hebrew isn't one of your languages, and it means together we are stronger, and I like that. Right? I like that message. All right, and so we're going to do that at the end of the Torah reading today. And Rabbi Hertz or I, we're going to remind everybody at the time. So that's like thing number 2. And number 3, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on talking about a Jewish custom here and tell you a little bit more about it. Because what this other custom is may not be as well known. Okay? And it takes place during the Torah reading. So if you have one of these books that says the Torah on it, I'm going to have you open this up right now. You're going to need it anyway as services go along. So if you have one of these like big, thick books, turn to page 953 real quickly, and I'll tell you a little bit about this week's Torah portion, page 953. And you'll see there, and it's actually not where there's any Torah text. There's just like a big essay there. Because, sometimes in big Bible books, they put all sorts of essays in and everything like that. And this one just says on it, blessings and curses. Blessings and curses. This is at the end of the book of Leviticus, which is the third of the 5 books of Moses. Blessings and curses. And then if you just take a quick look with me, and we'll do this real quickly, starting on page 957, going through verse 1, all the way up to verse 17, there's a bunch of blessings. And we've done a lot of blessings already during services, and these are like, hey, if you do all these things that God's asked you to do, you're going to get blessings. And then it turns out that starting with verse 18 and going all the way to the end, which is like verse 46, it's like almost, I think it's 32 verses. So if you had 17 verses to start off with of blessings, 32 of the verses are about curses, and maybe that's telling us a little bit about the way the world works, right? How little we praise things and how much time we spend critiquing, or as we say in Jewish languages, kvetching about things. Curses. If we follow God's instructions to saying, you're going to get blessing and the curses will befall us. And I should say this, Temple Emmanuel is part of the Reform movement of Judaism. Maybe many of you know this, the non-Orthodox part. This worldview, right, that says, do X and God will bless you. But if you don't do it, God's going to curse you. We rarely invoke that. Just so you know, like we're part of the religious spectrum where we don't go into that type of theology. Right? The reason you're going to get blessings is you do all of that. The reason you're going to be cursed is, all right? In fact, we pretty much reject that. Okay? But I want to make reference to this list of curses, which is at the end there, right? There's 32 verses. Because it's when we get to this point in the Torah that we have an understandable but rather peculiar Jewish custom. Anytime we get to a section with these curses, it's customary to read them quickly and to read them quietly in a whispered voice. Now, I should say, we're not going to actually read these sections today because our custom is to take an excerpt of the Torah portion. But if we would, you might notice that Maddie would have read them real quickly and really, really quietly. Just saying. Okay? And I've known about this custom of chanting these verses with the curses, quietly for decades. Okay? But honestly, I've only seen it in person once or twice, just the way that it's fallen out. And so I filed it away in the back of my memory. That was until I heard a story about a rabbi who suffered pretty greatly during the Holocaust and managed to survive. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that rabbi right now. But I just want you to keep in mind that idea of being quieter and going through quickly when we get to the curses part. Maybe we do that so that curses don't befall us and bad things don't happen to us. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of, superstition to it. This rabbi, had he wanted to, He could have been one of the first rabbis, the first Jewish people to have left Europe. But as it turns out, he was one of the last. He was the famous, and I'll give you the title that he had. He was known as the Klausenberger Sons Rebbe. Okay, the Klausenberger Sons Rebbe. One of the last ones out. He told others that a captain, a leader, doesn't abandon a ship, even a sinking one, before the passengers do. And so he survived. He wound up coming to New York after World War II. But his wife and their 13 children didn't survive. I told you, he suffered greatly. Came in the 1940s. And then it was the early 1950s. The followers, as we say in Jewish, the Hasidim of this great rabbi, many of whom had also known similar troubles, began to begin their lives anew and build their lives anew in New York, in Brooklyn. And they purchased what's known as the Beth Moses Hospital. I'm sure someone here knows of this. And in one of the rooms, they set up a house of study, of Jewish study, what we call in Hebrew a Beit Midrash, where they held their services. And one Shabbat morning, one Sabbath morning, just like we're in right now, the rabbi, he wasn't leading services, and he was sitting by himself, and the customary was, the synagogue's oriented a little differently, and sometimes the rabbi would sit kind of over on the side there, kind of facing the wall, and that's what this rabbi was doing. And it was time to take the Torah out, and the Torah portion was the one where we're at right now, where you read the blessings and the curses. And the Torah reader, just like Maddie, had practiced the section diligently. First read that section with the blessings, and then came to the section that contained the curses that would befall our people if we didn't obey what God has to say. And so upholding that time-honored custom in that synagogue, they were reading that, and the reader began to chant the section with the curses, and did so what? Really, really quickly and really, really quietly. Again, the rabbi's over there. And suddenly, from his place facing the wall, he lifts up his head, and in his raspy voice, he said only one word, and he said it in Yiddish, in Jewish, right, in that European Jewish language, which, frankly, I don't understand. But he yells out at the top of his lungs, Hecher! Now, that word means louder. And the Torah reader immediately stopped in his tracks. Everyone stopped. Did the rabbi actually say that? Did he yell out that word in Jewish, Hecher, louder? How could our rabbi violate this time-honored Jewish practice of zipping through these things in a really, 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 really quiet voice? So the Torah reader decided that maybe the rabbi was mistaken. Began again in a whisper. Really, really quietly, really, really quickly. And it was then that the rabbi turned to face the congregation. He banged on the lectern. His eyes were blaring. And he said, I said louder. Ich hab gesagt Hecher. He yelled out, let the master of the universe, like God here. We have nothing to be afraid of. We've already received the curses. Let the Almighty hear and let God understand the time has come to send us blessings. And with that, the Torah reader began to chant those curses loudly and did so in the normal, slower cadence. For the first time I heard that story, it has stuck with me. Not that we all have suffered as greatly as that rabbi did, but I feel like there are moments where we just have to do things louder because it feels like we've been through enough already and it's time for the blessings to come. I should note, Maddie, thank you for bringing us today, once again, into the world of blessings. So let me tell you 3 things I think about this story. Then we'll get on with the services. First, we Jewish people have a long tradition of making our voices heard before God. It might seem like the pinnacle of chutzpah, disrespect, But we do this. We love God. Yet there are times that we find ourselves disappointed or even angry at God, and doing so is far better than simply ignoring God. And so we raise our voices. I'm reminded of the story from the book of Genesis where Jacob wrestles with an angel. He emerges from that encounter with a new name, the name Israel. Israel means wrestling with God. We Jews are God wrestlers. We prod, we question, we challenge, we yell, we demand from God. I think always of Abraham saying, "Won't the judge of the entire universe do justice?" When someone is sick, our prayers are in the imperative. Heal us now. We speak our mind, and yes, we do so loudly. Louder. Which brings me to a second observation. If we can do this with God, if we can empty our hearts and speak our minds loudly in the presence of the Blessed Holy One, then how much the more so should we do this when we encounter injustice, imbalance, and brokenness in the world around us? Just like you, I have questions that need to be answered. They need to be asked. Why in a country like ours, blessed with overabundance, are people still going hungry? We have the resources, we have the technology, but when it comes to providing basic support such as sustenance and health care for those who need it but can't afford it, that's what's being cut? The voices supporting these measures are sometimes very loud, to which I say, hecher, be even louder. Or when it comes to the environment, Maddie's going to talk about hurricane relief. When it comes to terror, our hearts were shattered by the attack outside the Jewish Museum in Washington just a couple nights ago, leaving 2 young embassy workers committed to diplomacy over conflict, leaving them dead, their families and their friends, the Jewish people, and hopefully a world crushed. Louder. Or when it comes to civil rights and the erosion of protections for minorities, for diversity and inclusion. Hecher! Whispered silence is no longer an option. When it comes to the treatment of immigrants, the Jewish voice has been loud and will continue to be loud. I want the world to know that Temple Emmanuel Greensboro has many qualities. One thing is for sure. When it comes to justice, we are a loud congregation. Finally, let's not forget how being loud can also teach us an important spiritual message. I know many people think that spirituality is supposed to be quiet and contemplative and meditative, and very often it is. But think about how we've been singing today. Loudly. I don't need to tell the youth of this congregation how loud or how soft to speak or to sing. They do it naturally. And I'm grateful for that. Because when we do things with all of our heart and with all of our soul, yeah, we're a little louder and prouder. And it's not a show. It's very real. Our voices signal that we are a community of deep convictions. We're committed to transforming ourselves in as much as we're also working for a better world. So, heche, be louder. And this morning, God, I cry out from my heart. Hear us and hear the prayers in this room. Our people. Hear the voices of our neighbors. We've been living through curses that sometimes resemble those on the pages of our Torahs. We now implore you, bring us blessing. Rain it upon us. And may this Shabbat in these coming days bring the change that we are praying for and that we're working for. May the curses be exhausted, and may our lives be filled with the highest of your blessings, O God. May there be goodness, may there be health, may there be joy, and may families and friends be reunited like the people whose pictures we have over here, and all those seeking freedom. And may there be peace. Peace not just for Israel, but for the Middle East, for the entire world. As together loudly we all say, Amen. And join me loudly also in saying, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And this just one time. Okay, good. We're going to continue now with our Torah service. So again, keep these books nearby, and you should also have your prayer books. Turn there to page 367 as we get our next ark openers. Page 367, you'll see the words on the page there that the world is sustained by three things: by study, Torah, by avodah, by what it is that we hope for in our hearts, and by gimilut chasadim, what it is that we do on an ongoing basis, the work of our hands, and the way that our actions truly do make a difference in our world. Please rise as the ark doors are open. Say together, its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure. 366.
Adonai, Adonai,
So I'm going to ask your parents to repeat these words after me. They can do so loudly if they want to. They should, because this is a moment of tremendous blessing. Moment of tremendous blessing as once again Torah passes from one generation to the next generation. So if you repeat these words after me, right, and then Dad, you'll pass this on to your incredible daughter. We give to you our beloved daughter.
We give to you our beloved daughter.
The sacred teaching contained in this scroll.
The sacred teaching contained in this scroll.
That you may love it and cherish it.
That you may love it and cherish it.
Learn from it and live by it.
Learn from it and live by it.
All of your life.
All of your life.
Shabbat Shalom. We've arrived. We have arrived atop Mount Sinai. Literally, we are here. Maddie will be reading for us from a section of our Torah from the book of Leviticus, starting in the portion called Bahar, and then moving over at the end to Behukotai to conclude our book of Vayikra. And literally your words start, Bahar Sinai, right? On Mount Sinai. And here we are recreating this special, special moment. We are on page 946 in our large Torah commentary. That's the big book. And for the honor of our first Aliyah, we are going to call up Polly and Richard Strasser, and Marjorie and Gerald Donnelly. Ya'amdu pu melech la'aliyah rishona.
Baruch Adonai HaMabarah. Baruch Adonai HaMabarah Le'elam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'Kavanu Mikol Amin V'Natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notena Torah.
Amen. Amen. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe behar Sinai lemor. Daber el bnei ותבואו אל הארץ אשר אני נותן לכם, ועשבת הארץ שבת לאדוני. 6 שנים תזרע שדך, ו6 שנים תזמור כרמך, ואספת את תבואתה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah amet b'kei olam natan b'keinu. Baruch atah Adonai notenu Torah.
For the honor of our second Aliyah this morning, we call up proud parents, Elizabeth and Joe Strasser. Maddie will continue in the reading, Leviticus chapter 25, verses 4 through 6. Yamod Yosef Laliyah Shenit. Wait.
Say it again. Baruch Adonai Hambarah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarah Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher baruch banu mikol kahinim v'nato lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai notena Torah.
Amen. Uvishana hashavit Shabbat Shabbaton yichye la'aretz Shabbat Adonai sarecha lo tizra v'karmecha lo tizmor et tzviach kitzirecha lo tigzor ve'et inavei nazirecha lo tivzor Shnat Shabbaton yichye la'aretz V'hayita Shabbat ha'aretz lachem le'ochla lecha u'avdecha u'emetecha ve'lischircha ve'tishivecha u'toshvecha hagarim imach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet Baruch atah Adonai notena Torah.
Amen. For our third Aliyah, Uncle Aaron is coming up. Gonna swap out readers for just a second as our Baal Koreh and our Aliyah this morning, Tyler and Noah Strasser. Joe? Oh, I'm so sorry. Jennifer, Scott, Emily, and Emily. Come on up. My apologies. That's the next one. You're on deck. On deck. Yeah, do Aviza the Aliyah Shlishit.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notena Torah. Amen. Believhem techa v'lachaya asher b'artzecha tiyeh kol tevuata lecho v'safarta lecha sheva shabbatot shanim sheva פעמים והיו לך ימי 7 שבתות השנים 49 שנה והעברת שופר תרועה בחודש השביעי בעצור לחודש ביום הכיפורים תעבירו שופר בכל ארצכם וקידשתם את שנת 50 שנה וקראתם דרור בארץ לכל יושביה יובל היא תהיה לכם ושבתם איש על אחוזתו ואיש על משפחתו תשובו.
אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Just as we prepare for the next blessing, I should point out that have you ever seen the Liberty Bell or a replica of the Liberty Bell? On the side of it, it says like something like LV. And then it has a bunch of Roman numerals afterwards. And what it's pointing to is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, right here where we are in verse 10, or at least where we were in verse 10, where it says that you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land. It says it probably is like release or something like that. But that verse that's written on the Liberty Bell actually comes from right here in the book of Leviticus. Right, talk about freedom and talk about people, coming back to where they belong. And again, my heart always is with those who are still captive, especially as we will, hold them in our hearts. 58 still deserve to be home.
For our fourth Aliyah this morning, we call up Cousin Finn. Pass the yad to you for our Ba'al Kore, and Tyler and Noah for our Aliyah, Ya'amdu, Tal v'Noach le'Aliyah Revi'it.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Yovel hi shnat ch-50 shana tiyeh lachem lo titra'u velo tizkeru et firecha velo tazu et nezireah ki yovel hi kodesh tiyeh lachem min hashadeh tochlu et tevuata bishnat hayovel tazu tashuv ish el chakuato. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We are going to continue with our fifth Aliyah. We will invite up Emma, our fifth reader, Ba'alat Kore this morning, and Jenny and Brian Kaiser up as our Aliyah. Again, we are continuing on Leviticus 25, verses 17 through 19. Ya'amdu, Shana, Rivka, Avraham, Binyamin, Aliyah, Chamishit. Baruch Adonai HaMevarach, Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Vechitim karum imkor la'amitecha o kanoni yad amitecha al tonu ish et achiv b'mispar shanim achar hayovel tiknei me'et amitecha b'mispar shnei tevuvot yibkor lach lefi rov תרבה מקנתו, ולפי מאת השנים תמעיט מקנתו, כי מספר תבואות הוא מוכר לך, ולא תאמרו איש את עמיתו, ויראת מאלוהיך, כי אני אדוני
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Going to move a little bit in our Torah. Maddie's going to complete our section of Vayikra. So in our commentaries, we're turning to page 969. If you're following along, Leviticus chapter 27, verses 29 to 31. Let's invite up your parents back up. Come share in this beautiful There you go. Ta'amod habachora habat mitzvah me'ira bat Yosef le'aliyah shishit.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai hamorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
B'chol ma'asar bakar v'tzon, kol asher ya'avor tachat hashavet hasiri, yihye kodesh l'Adonai, lo yevaker bein tov l'ra, v'lo yamirenu, ve'im hamer yamirenu, v'hayahu utmurato, yihye kodesh lo yig'el.
Please rise, and this is where we're going to, after this verse, do the back and forth with Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek.
Ele hamitzvot asher siva yihye et Moshe Adonai et Moshe el bnei Yisrael b'har Sinai. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek.
Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please rise now as we lift the Torah and we redress it. Lifting the Torah now is Dan Wolf. And Rachel, who's redressing it? Lily, come on up. All right. Please remain standing.
Yeah. prophetic reading this morning, Maddie will be sharing our Haftarah, which is on page 1007 in your large Torah commentary. She will be reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. And for the blessing before Haftarah and after, you will find those in our prayer book on page 372.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'moshe Israel amo uvinvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Baruch hagaver asher yiftach ba'Adonai v'haya Adonai mivtachu v'haya ka'etz shatul almayim ve'al yuval yushalach sharshav ve'lo yir'eh ki avochom ve'haya alehu ra'anan uvishnat batzoret lo yid'ag ve'lo yamish ma'asot peri akov halev mikol ve'anash hu mi yad'enu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sor kol ha'olamim sadik b'kol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shekol devaro emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shanatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu lidusha ve'lemenucha lekavod u'tifaret al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim atach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
You can close your big Torah books if you have them open now, but you're going to want to turn in your prayer books at this time to page 377. Before we do a prayer for the state of Israel and the people of Israel, and of course we're always keeping the hostages in our hearts, that they will be home now. If not now, then by the time we finish services today. If not, then as soon as possible. But let's also just focus our hearts on those that we're thinking of now for a prayer of healing, whether it's on the physical level or the mental health level, the emotional level, or even on the spiritual level, or some combination of both. The people that you're thinking of, first off, could be yourself. It could be someone else within the Jewish community, beyond the Jewish community. You may be part of the Jewish community, or even from beyond the Jewish community. Whoever you're thinking of, hold them in your heart right now. These words of blessing, Mishaberach, Avotenu Avraham, Yitzhak, v'Yakov, Imotenu, Sar Rivka Rachel v'Leahu Yevarech v'Yirapeh et kol ha'cholim ha'ele, v'yishlach lehem mehira refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat ha'nefesh u'refuat ha'guf, v'toch sha'ar cholei amo Yisrael v'kol ha'amim, hashta ba'agala v'zman kariv v'nomar Amen. God, send blessings just as you've done to our ancestors in times past, to those that we are thinking of on this Shabbat morning. Be filled with compassion, O God, for their health to be revived and their strength to be restored, and may each experience a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we all say, Amen. Page 377, we continue now with a prayer of peace for Israel, Jerusalem, and the people of Israel. Avinu Smichat Geulatenu. Let's pray together with Maddie in English at the bottom of page 377. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the Eternal One, whose name alone is exalted. You may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Temple Emmanuel.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is a happy and joyous occasion for me and all of you, but I want to acknowledge this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. The central word of this weekend is remember. That word is at the heart of Memorial Day weekend. Remember is mentioned in my Torah portion 4 times and 222 times in the Hebrew Bible. When I sat down with Rabbi Andy and he asked what Memorial Day weekend meant to me, I said it was about celebrating those soldiers who fought for our country. But there's more. It's about the soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, the ones who lost their lives so that we can be here today. For my family, especially when it comes to Bat and Bar Mitzvahs, Memorial Day weekend has been very meaningful. Emma, Finn, Noah, Tyler, and I have had our Bat and Bar Mitzvahs on this weekend. On my way to becoming Bat Mitzvah, I've gained a new definition of remember. I learned that the story of the Jewish people doesn't begin with me, nor does it end with me. I must continue to share the joyous occasions and stories passed down to me. I want to acknowledge something we have here in Temple today, our memorial walls. We have 2 here in the sanctuary, with 1 to the right of me and 1 to the left of me. There is also 1 when you enter or exit the sanctuary. I encourage you to take a moment and acknowledge these today. We need to remember them not only this weekend, as Memorial Day weekend, but also whenever we enter the sanctuary. We need to always remember and never forget. Never forget may sound familiar. It has been used frequently in these past few months when Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th of 2023. Everyone was very engaged. People were posting on social media about it and acknowledging it every week. But as it has continued, people have started to worry about other things that they may find more or less important. But today and every day, I want to always remember. I want to look at the yellow chair over here and remember the hostages who have lost their lives and those still held hostage in Gaza right now. We may be far away from Israel, but I want to ensure that we would never forget and always remember. Remembering is what motivated me to do my Mitzvah project I did over the past few months. When Hurricane Helene hit the North Carolina mountains last summer, it was a big shock. A hurricane in the mountains? Everyone was eager to help in the first few weeks, but as time went on, people have forgotten. However, those who lost everything haven't forgotten and have been fighting to get back up on their feet these past few months. I didn't know how I could help at the time, but this lack of clarity led me to my Mitzvah project. I spent a lot of time in Asheville and nearby places because I used to go to summer camp there every summer and spent countless winters with my friends Mary Beth and Billy in the mountains. They taught me to always find the positive in our world. So that's what I did. I did my Mitzvah project with my good friend Naomi Kleiner. Naomi and I brainstormed for ideas for our Mitzvah project a few months ago and decided we wanted to help with hurricane relief here in North Carolina. We chose to assist schools that lost items and resources in our hurricane. This led us to set up an Amazon link and conduct a school supplies drive here at Temple. We ended up with around 479 various school supplies. We will be delivering these items shortly so that they will have them for the upcoming school year. I want to thank all of you who donated to this cause. I am becoming bat mitzvah because I'm a young Jewish girl and I want to grow my Jewish identity. I've looked forward to this moment for a while now. I've always enjoyed being Jewish, whether it was having our whole family Seder on Passover, lighting the candles on Hanukkah, having Shabbat with Gran and Papa, or going to high holiday services. These are traditions I've grown up with. I was raised from a young age to understand what it meant to be Jewish. In my opinion, being Jewish is more than the big parties we have on our bar and bat mitzvah nights, who finds the afikomen on Passover, or the gifts we receive on Hanukkah. It is instead our journey, the journey we choose to go on. When I was little, I thought being Jewish was all about the presents I got on Hanukkah and the parties we have on our bar and bat mitzvah nights. But over these past few months, I've learned that there's more to being Jewish. I've discovered that reading from the Torah is a privilege that most kids don't get to experience. I've also strengthened my relationship with God. I've been focusing on saying my prayers when I wake up in the morning and before going to bed. I've been attending Kesher and Friday night services. I've come to the understanding that not every minor inconvenience will affect me negatively and that everything happens for a reason. These are just tiny steps though. I want to continue to grow my Jewish identity by engaging in more than just these small actions, while also practicing them. I plan to keep doing the small actions after my bat mitzvah, while also participating in bigger things. I want to do some things like go to Poland and Israel with the Temple on March of the Living. I will volunteer at Temple with Kesher at the Madracha, start attending BBYO, and continue to engage with events in our Jewish community. I want to thank all of you guys for coming out and supporting me in this significant moment in my life. Thank you to everyone who's on the live stream and everyone who has traveled long and short distances for today. It means a lot to me. I want to thank all my friends from every part of my life, from school, Kesher to the barn, for being here today. You all have always been there for me, and I don't know what I would do without you guys. Thank you. I want to thank all of my teachers for helping me through tough times and always dedicating their time to ensure I understood the concept. I want to specifically thank my B'nai teachers. Most of you have known me since I was a baby, and although I miss seeing you guys every day, I wouldn't be the young woman I am without each of you. Thank you. Meredith, Abby, Lauren, and Mary. I want to thank you guys for not only teaching me how to ride and show horses, but also for helping me become the young woman I am today. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Dr. Dresser, thank you so much for teaching me everything I've chanted and sung today. I appreciate everything you have done for me these past few months. I've learned so much, and I'm really happy I got to have you as my tutor. I want to thank Rabbi Andy and Rabbi Amy. Rabbi Andy, thank you for guiding me through this whole process. You never fail to make me laugh and have taught me so many things these past few months. Rabbi Amy, I haven't known you for long, but I truly appreciate everything you have done. I'm so glad you were here to help me every step of the way, especially with all the Torah readings and prayers. Uncle Aaron and Aunt Jen, thank you for always being there for me and supporting me. I love you both so much, and you never fail to cheer me up in the mornings, which can sometimes be a hard thing to do. Uncle Scott and Aunt Emily, thank you for your constant support. Emma, Finn, and Noah, thank you for always being there for me. Thank you, Emma and Finn, for driving me to school for the past 2 years. Don't worry, Noah, you're next. And I love you all. Aunt Ryan, Uncle Chris, Uncle Patrick, Aunt Jamie, Aunt Mary Claire, almost Uncle Devin, Uncle John, Aunt Deanna, Aunt Sarah, and Uncle Adam. Whew, that was a mouthful. I love you all so much. When you're around, everything is bound to be fun. Thank you all for your unwavering support. Mary Catherine, James, William, Wright, and baby May, we always have a fantastic time together. Whether it's during beach trips or family dinners, I love hanging out with you all. Great-granddaddy and great-grandmommy. Great-granddaddy, you have taught me that age is just a number and that anything is possible if you have the right mindset. Great-grandmommy, though you aren't here with us today, I know you're looking down on all of us with a big smile on your face. I love you both. Nana and Poppy D. Whether I'm spending the night at your house, you're picking me up from Kesher, driving out to the barn, or picking me up from school, I love you both so much. You're always there for me, and I love sitting down to watch baking shows with you guys. Gran and Papa. I love you both so much. You're always there for me when I need it. Gran, you never say no to a good game of sorry or go fish, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. Thank you for waking up bright and early on those mornings to take me to ski school or driving us out to Catherine's. Papa, thank you for always making me laugh. Whether it's a moment we definitely should be quiet or a moment it's appropriate to laugh, you somehow find a way to make me laugh in both situations. Tyler and Grant. You can be annoying, and though we don't always get along, I love you both dearly. You're the best brothers. Last but not least, Mom and Dad. I know I can be hard to deal with at times, and that sometimes I push your buttons, so thank you for being patient with me when I'm not always in the best mood. Thank you for being there for me during my lows and my highs. You lift me up at my lows and celebrate my highs with me. Thank you for helping me after tough days at school. Thank you for picking me up after I didn't do so well on a test or a quiz. Thank you for helping me realize that a grade isn't my whole life. Thank you for making the almost daily drive to and from the barn. Thank you for traveling to horse shows with me. Thank you for picking me up after a bad ride or celebrating after a good one. Thank you for making every trip I want to go on possible. Thank you for cherishing every moment with me. And thank you for making this day possible. I could say 1,000 thank yous to you guys and it wouldn't be enough. I love you both so much. Once again, thank you all so much for being here with me on this very special day. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay. Awkward. Okay. We all know I wouldn't make it through a long speech, so I'll be quick. Okay. I've done really well up to this point. Okay. Congratulations, Maz. You did it. Don't laugh. You sounded beautiful, and we were all in awe. We were so incredibly proud of all your hard work to get to this point. Maddie, you are a force to be reckoned with. You're a girl who knows what she wants and goes and gets it. You're fiercely independent, want to be perfect at all the things, sassy, and maybe a little stubborn. You push me to my parenting limits almost daily, but I would not trade the person you are for the world. You drag me to Lululemon, Sephora, Juice Shop, and occasionally beg to go down the road to South Park or South Point because Greensboro doesn't have the good stores. And I'm not a shopper. But let's not forget your obsession with Chick-fil-A. There's nobody I'd rather spend a girl day with than you. Maddie, we have loved watching you succeed in life, from school to the show ring. And now you're bat mitzvah. You are determined and strong-willed and make us laugh every day. You are a loyal daughter, sister, friend, and cousin, and we love you and cannot wait to watch you where you go from here.
Maddie, after writing this speech 3 times, I think I figured out what I wanted to say to you. Be crazy. Be nuts. Have a life that's crazy. Be as unique as a rose or a snowflake. Make people laugh when you tell them your plans. Life can be lived many ways. I want you to live it for yourself. Live for you. Be your best friend. Have fun. Forgive yourself when you make mistakes, because you will make mistakes. Give the person the mirror of hope, faith, and love. Celebrate all that you have become. See, Maddie, life is an adventure. You can go and see the same place 10 times, but still see something new every single time. Like our summer road trips. We had the privilege of seeing wolves and wolf cubs. In Yellowstone, we saw grizzly bears with grizzly cubs. We almost got eaten, but it was okay. You got to go to see Arizona and stay a foot away from grizzly bears eating their breakfast. You know, it's amazing. In the Grand Canyon, we saw sunrises and sunsets. You found your passion on the summer trips to Utah, while riding horses at Catherine's, and riding with the Bennett family in Mississippi. The passion has changed your life forever. It's what you love most in life besides your family and friends. It's made you become the young woman you are in so many ways. Riding has taught you teamwork, which is sometimes not easy when your teammate is a 1,200-pound animal and cannot speak. It has taught you hard work and responsibility. Whether it was Big D, Tiffany, Allison, or Rob, you have grown by riding these tremendous horses. Your instructors have taught you how to do it. Your determination and wanting to succeed have provided many great moments at the barns and at the shows. It is a special thing, Maddie, when your hearts tell you that it loves something. I have fallen in love with him many times. Once, a boxer named Hope changed my life and your life forever. She used to sleep under your crib every night. And the first cry you cried each morning, she would bark and howl to make sure we came and got you. Since then, we got little Missy. I think she's teaching us all a lot of patience. But I said I would never have another puppy, but we got one. She will teach us patience in the end. And of course, I love your mother. 17 years and still going. I hope you tell the people in your life what they mean to you, and how you feel about them. Everybody loves to hear something positive. Maddie, life will be full of greats and not so great moments. The comedian Minnie Pearl once said, "I've learned it a lot better to be silly and fun than to worry about being perfect." Another quote by her, "You cannot be a cowgirl if you've never fallen off a horse." I was there that day you fell off. I was there, and it was a great moment because you showed who you were. There might have been some tears. There might have been a little frustration, but you got right back on the horse and got back on. Look out upon the crowd, Maddie. See all the faces. Take them in. They've been here for your life, celebrating your ups, your downs, loving you, and just being part of the ride. These people have been at VIP days and horse shows. They taught you how to bake. They taught you how to water ski and snow ski. They have celebrated old and new generations of friends. They taught you about extended family and being there. They taught you that Shabbat dinner is a lot better maybe in Utah than anywhere else. And they taught you how to yell Roll Tide. 10 members have read from the same Torah you read from this morning. That's history. We have members of Temple Emmanuel. We've been members of Temple Emmanuel for over 48 years. Your grandfather designed this building so we can have moments like this. Every Sunday, I get the pleasure of sitting in a parking lot with my buddies after a soccer game. We get to have a beer or maybe a whiskey for some people, and we get to interact. That's what we love. That's what we love, being around friends and celebrating everybody. Dolly Parton once said, "You cannot make old friends," meaning that new friends will come, but the old ones that are always there for you. And I hope you realize the greatest gift in life are your families and friends. It's interesting how close you are with your barn friends. I never thought my 11-year-old daughter would be going to dinner with high schoolers and college kids. You know, explaining tipping to an 11-year-old was very interesting. But Maddie, whether it's Caroline or your crew, or your OG, BFF, Naomi or Hannah, school friends or barn friends, enjoy the company, because these will become your old friends. These are the people you'll celebrate with, cry with, and like the parking lot, tell 1,000 stories about the same time. Wow, this moment that you will remember for the rest of your life. I hope you remember the feeling that you accomplished today. Hope you realize with hard work you can do anything. Chris Ledoux once said, "A hard day work is easier than a lot of things you'll meet in life." Maddie, you are unique, you're stubborn, you have a heart of gold. I'm not sure she loves this speech, but it's okay. These are all traits your grandparents and your parents have instilled in you. They have passed down through time and taught you through your life. I could tell 1,000 stories about you, but one more quote from Chris Ledoux. Sit tall in your saddle, hold your head high, keep your eyes fixed where the trail meets the sky. Live like you ain't afraid to die, and don't be scared, just enjoy the ride. We love you, and you're amazing.
I'm going to talk for just as long. Well done. My name is Andrew Broad. I'm here representing the Board of Trustees of Temple Emmanuel, and hence I'm here speaking for the congregation. And I think I can say without fear of contradiction that you did a wonderful job. You said it was a day of joy for us. It was. We're very happy. We're very impressed, by the way you led services, the way you taught us, the way you chanted Torah. You did a great job. And so, to represent our appreciation, here is a present from the Brotherhood and Sisterhood, a pair of Shabbat candlesticks. They come in twos, I'm told.
Thank you.
And this is the Jewish scriptures, the Tanakh, so that you can, you said you're going to be Jewish your whole life. Well, here you are. You're stuck with this.
Thank you.
So, anyway, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Maddie, I have the honor of presenting you this beautiful certificate. Take a moment just to share it with the congregation. Dr. Strasser, who I know is thinking about you today and maybe even online, created this for you, and it shares this beautiful, joyful picture. And I just want to share, though you're right, we haven't known each other long. I feel like these last 2 months we've gotten to know each other pretty well. And it's been a joy. I have been so impressed by your commitment, your willingness to work hard and try hard. And what I mostly want to say to you is I've been thinking a lot about your Hebrew name, Me'ira, which comes from the Hebrew word meaning light. You bring a lot of radiance to the world, a lot of light. And my hope and prayer for you is that you will use that light to shine your own path forward, just like your parents said, but also that you will use your light and your power for good, that you will use it to shine the way for others, that you will bring your kindness and your heart to bear in the world to make the world a better place, that you will always think of those who don't have enough light, and that you will help to be that light for them. So our blessing to you this day is that you continue to feel that warmth and joy of your community. We are so proud of you, and in so sharing that light with you, we hope that you will continue to share light with our world. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask the congregation to stand now, and we're going to open the ark doors for a very special blessing for Maddie. We now bless you with the ancient blessing honored by time and our people. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ein yehi ratzon.
Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God's light shine on you, and may God always be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasein lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon. And Maddie, may God always be with you, blessing you with peace. As together we all say, Amen. You may be seated. And I'd like to ask at this time, Maddie, if you'd come down at the front of the bima. What did you say? We've done this this is like time number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're number 5. All right, you stand here. And if your parents would come here with you also, and the immediate family, if you'd come also and just kind of stand around. That means like uncles and aunts and cousins and grandparents and like the whole family, as we say here in the South. But you're facing towards the ark because in a moment we are going to shower you as a family with our blessings with kisses. And right now we're passing out chocolate kisses. Isn't that right? Okay, good. Passed them out already. Okay. Raise your hand if you don't have a chocolate yet. All right. All right, see? All right, I'm just saying. Now, y'all can come over on this side too, otherwise the temple's going to tip over. I'm just saying. I'm really into symmetry, but she's got to be in the middle. All right, good. And but make sure everybody. All right, now if you are under the age of 13, or please come on up and stand next to the railings here. And again, you could be from Temple or not from Temple, from the Jewish community, or just a good friend. But anyone under the age of 13, because we need people to pick up the chocolates. Okay? And you're about to become really good friends with lots of people. Now, you can't listen. You got to listen to me if you're coming up here to pick up the chocolates, which you should do. And we need some more people on this side. Which is, you should, all right, stay over there now, okay? Don't throw from here. Because you got the absolutely wrong angle and you're going to hurt somebody. All right, you hear that? Do not throw from here. Okay, but if you're under 13, you're on the pickup crowd. And like I said, you're about to become good friends with people because then they're going to say, oh, can I have one? And the answer is yes. And if you do start to snack on these, which is totally legit, just make sure, because the cleanup crew here always asks me, and we love the cleanup crew here, just like we love the security crew here and everything. They just ask me, like, don't put them in the seats behind you or in the seats in front of you. Just put them in your pockets and take them home with you. That way it doesn't make a big old mess. The other thing I'm going to say is, I know we're in the middle of baseball season right now. I realize that people like to take aim and throw overhand, but this is really showering a family with your love, and so do it kindly and underhand. And just remember, some of the rabbis around here actually throw bat. No, I'm kidding. My dad was drafted by the Yankees out of college, so you don't want to test it. I'm not kidding. Really, this is a token of our love, and it's a token of blessing. And so we focus on Maddie and on the family now. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, God of our ancestors and God of all who have come before us and who have made us who we are. We ask for your blessings at this very special time for a daughter of this community, for a daughter of this congregation, and for a daughter of this incredible family who has been called before the Torah this morning and who has made us so proud becoming bat mitzvah. We ask, oh God, that you continue to watch over her and watch over her entire family, some of whom have traveled here from far away. Some of our friends have also come here from far away. And so we ask, God, for those who have traveled, for you to watch over them. And just as if they arrived here safely, we also ask your blessings as they make their way to their home destination. And God, we ask your blessings upon this family, that just as they have joined together in goodness on this very special occasion, that they merit to join together on many other happy occasions, as we know that they are so deserving of blessing, as we all are. If you know the Shehechianu blessing, the Jewish blessing of gratitude, I ask that we put our voices together loudly to say this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We give thanks to God for giving us life, for sustaining us and bringing us together on this happy and holy occasion, to which we all say Amen and Mazel Tov. As we continue with Aleinu. On our happiest occasions, we also pause. We pause to remember. Maddie talked about that word remember and what it means to really take memory to heart. Just within the past few hours, we learned of the passing of Denny Norris, who had been a member of this congregation for many, many years. Denny passed away here in Greensboro. She'll be buried in Las Vegas next to her beloved Bud, and our prayers go out to the entire family. We're also remembering Maxine Yeager, who has been a member of this congregation for a long, long time. Her family is within that first week after her passing, this period that we know as Shiva, and so our blessings go out to the family. And we're also remembering the following individuals who are in the midst of, who passed away within the course of this past 30 days, this period known as Shloshim, as we remember Linda Silverstein, Marion Shearer, Harvey Colchimiro, Suzanne Lois Graber, Rabbi Arnie Task, who was a rabbi of this congregation for 20 years, Alice Isaacson, Brad Krantz, and David Mann. And as a people now, our hearts are breaking in mourning at the tragic terror attack which took the lives of Sarah Milgram and Yoram Lishinsky. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always live on as a blessing. We're also remembering those whose yard sites, the anniversary of their passing, took place within the course of this past week. As we remember Nellie Becker, Herbert Bergstein, Zalman Bachkis, we remember Hank Broad. And I have to just pause for a moment here to say something about Hank. During the time that we were passing the Torah, you may have heard us go, hey, in the middle of the song there. Hank, when he was in his late 80s, Hank, by the way, was a survivor of 5 Nazi slave labor and death camps. But in the middle of that song, Hank used to sing that, and he used to yell out, not just loud, but louder. Hank passed away 5 years ago. We're remembering Abram Fishbein, Daniel Foreman, Bill and Huline Frank, Paul Diamond, Howard Goldberg, Linda Goldman, Nancy Gordon, Fred Glickman, Jeffrey Greenberg, David Haber, Lyle Haynes, Barbary Heister, Edward Horowitz, Sidney LeBauer Jr., Gerald Piltz, Jack Pulitzer, Jason Schlein, Albert Sheridan, Chet Shilasky, Jerome Simon, Raymond Smith, Ann Spear, Maud Taylor, Harold Werner, Evelyn Warren, and Robert Willen. We're also cognizant that this is Memorial Day weekend. Please, if you have the opportunity to do so, go and pay your respects at one or another of the military cemeteries, or even at the Greensboro Hebrew Cemetery, where you will see markers such as the one for Sigmund Selig Pearl, who lost his life serving our country during World War II and any of the other American campaigns. 400,000 Americans gave their lives during World War II, many others during other campaigns, and our hearts and our blessings as a grateful nation are with their families and with our people at this time, this very tender weekend. Please stand together. Page 598, we find the traditional Jewish words of remembrance as we join our voices and our hearts. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah, be'almat yivarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei b'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv yimru amen, yehi shmei rabbah mevarach la'alamu almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shmei dekudsha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'miranda alma v'imru amen. Ehe shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imroma, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and may God, who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us, to Israel, to the entire Middle East, to our nation here at home, and to all humanity, as together we all say, Amen. I'm going to ask for the Od Yavo Shalom singers to please come back up to the bima right now. In fact, if you want to find that song, which will be our concluding song this morning, you're going to want to turn in your prayer books to page 657. And where's Maddie? Mazel tov to you. Give her one of these, all right? Immediately following services, we're going to make our way into the temple social hall. Hey, before you grab a seat or even take some lunch, make your way to the middle of the room where we have a bunch of wine and grape juice. Take what is appropriate and hold on to it just for a moment. We have some additional blessings and songs that we do, and then we'll continue together as a very grateful community, hopefully not just having a great lunch, but also spending time with each other. Od Yavo Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom. Why can't we hear in here? Shabbat Shalom. Come on into the social hall, please. We're going to get started. Maddie is going to be leading us in just a moment. So please make your way into the social hall. Come on. All right, please join us in the social hall. Please join us in the. Please join us at the. Hello, hello. So please join us at the front of the room over here. Thank you. Thank you. Take some wine or grape juice. Come on over here. If you'd like the words to the songs and prayers we're going to do, they are on these sheets over here at the table. You can pick them up real easily when you come on over and take some wine or grape juice. We're really going to be starting momentarily, so please make your way on over. Okay, it's for me and you. Come on over. Take some wine or grape juice. There's enough for everybody. Just don't drink it yet, okay? This is one of the ways that we say, oh, today is a really special day. We do it with chocolate kisses, and we also do it